I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a directorial secret tonight, and that is that every theatre director has a bucket list. By that, of course, I mean a list of plays that you are desperate to direct at one point. It will probably come as no surprise to all of you that Endgame is at, if not at the top, of my bucket list of plays to direct, so I'm incredibly thrilled to be launching it tonight. As Brett alluded to in his introductions, this is probably the defining work of one of the defining artists of the 20th century. In a creative output that spanned about 60 years, Beckett wrote an enormous amount, but I think he never wrote anything that was as bleak, as pure, and as funny as Endgame is. I'm especially thrilled, of course, to be working on Endgame with a man whose passion for Beckett, I think I can safely say whose passion for Beckett and for this play not just meets my own, but knows no bounds. We'll unleash Colin on you in a moment and let you hear directly from Colin about why he's excited about the piece. But just before that, I'd like to introduce a few other elements of it. Designing the set will be the acclaimed visual artist Callum Morton. Callum Morton and I first collaborated on Other Desert Cities in 2013, so we're thrilled to be renewing that collaboration next year. As you will see from the image, joining Colin on stage is a very fine actor by the name of Luke Mullins. For those of you who don't know, Luke recently also won a Helpman Award for his work on the STC production of Waiting for Godot. So he's what we refer to in the industry as Beckett fit and raring to go. Also in the cast is Julie Forsyth. Those of you who saw our production of Private Lives earlier in the year will have witnessed how Julie's comic talents shone through, notwithstanding that she had to do the whole performance in French. I think that was probably a bit easy for Julie, so we want to make it a little bit harder this time for Julie. So we're going to confine her, as Beckett would require, we're confining her to a dustbin for the entirety of the performance, but I'm sure she'll be fine. But that's enough for me. It's what I'd love to hand over now to one of Australia's finest actors and someone who will get to play what I think is one of the greatest roles in modern drama, the role of Ham, to Mr. Colin Friels.
Beckett was one of the greatest compassionate human writers of all the centuries, and everything was to be heard. He wrote everything to be heard. The privilege we have of performers is to have a conversation with you of the audience. And I can honestly say it's lovely to stand here tonight and say to you that we are doing this play, and it truly is a privilege to bring it to you as an audience, who are the only thing that matters in the theatre. The audience is all that matters. So I hope that you will come and see it, and I hope that we can meet afterwards and say, wasn't that great? Thank you and good evening.